I'm continuing to just go from stressed to more stressed. Don't know if it's just you or me, just you, but check out my gray hair. Like, it's coming in fast and I've never dyed it. So it's just happening, right? I need a little bit of divination. Got some big decisions I have to make. Hard decisions that I wish were easy decisions. And that gets me to just thinking about all the divine things that me and my friends, me and my murmuration of other people are thinking about all the time. And it got me thinking of a field trip, channeling my inner Blake, my buddy Blake. I think we're going to go out for a little bit of a field trip to some place that's somewhat divine in a lot of ways, I guess, that we can discuss in a minute. So hold on to your hats. We are going on a field trip. All right, look at that special effect we've got. I've brought you to this magical place, and you're thinking to yourself, what in the world could this be? So what's special about this and what's divine about this, I suppose, is that this is the only one in this whole town. And you know what? I was about to say in the whole state, in the whole part of the country, but it's not. There's others like this. This is pretty magical because not too long ago, this was a completely dead tree. And they cut all the bigger branches off to stop it from dropping. And they still kept the fence around it as sort of just remembering, because this was the only tree of its kind in the whole area. This is an elm tree. And in the early part of the 20th century, Dutch elm disease started. It's a fungus, not a virus, but I think we can all feel that same feeling of something attacking us and making us not live anymore. So anyhow, this is the only tree in the area that survived it, and then it died and was super dead. And they talked about taking this little gate, protective gate down, but then they just never did. And wouldn't you know, 3 years ago, up at the very, very top is where it started, some leaves came, and people thought at first maybe it was some wisteria that had grown up it, and it was the wisteria leaves, but nope, they were elm leaves. And this is an American elm, and it's the only one. So again, it's divine that it sort of resurrected, resuscitated, revivified. But there's more to it even than that. If we look back on ancient stories of ancient times, elm was what we used for divination, trying to find the magic in something, especially for divining water. So when they were looking to build a well in earlier times, certainly in medieval times, but probably before then too. I mean, you don't want to say prehistory, but it probably is older than that. It seems pretty old thing to do. Take some twigs with a sort of a crooked V-shaped branches and make that into how you find your water. But there was lots of things that were made from elm. Always caskets, until very recently, were made of elm. And the elm, when the elm starts to bloom, like the leaves start to come out, that's the beginning of May, and that's when the fairies would come out of their fairy homes that were like hills in the ground. And so the elm was connected with sort of magical elves and things like that. And it's divine. And we're making a lot of divine choices now with how to keep safe and how to move forward. And there's just, even our daily life has a greater need for prayer right now, for the mystic right now. I just thought this was a fun field trip for you to see a thriving elm that literally had already died. And I think they're trying to take little saplings from it so that people can buy and plant elms again in their yard. They're just such beautiful trees. Anyway, happy May Day. Okay, so I hope this works. So I'm now back at my house after the excursion to the elm tree. And on the way back, it got even windier when I was in my car, and it was like super windy. And it made me think of all sorts of scary things in the woods, you know, fables, the Wendigo from the west, and the Jersey Devil from around here, and all sorts of things that go bump in the night and are scary in the woods. And I guess that sort of tied in with the whole the power of the elm, the healing power of the elm, and the witching power of the elm that helped people in times when they were trying to make meaning out of their world. And here that whole species has been a victim to something. It's just, we live in a world that does a thing. So peace, and I'll put this together and love to hear what you think about my elm tree. Bye.